locked. Guess who's here? Let me guess.
What do you say, Brian?
Dad! All right!
Hiya, pal. How are you?
Fine. We're gonna bring us out for hamburgers and fries, and whatever we want. And it's all right with Mom, because he phoned her before he came here, and she said it was all right. And he's gonna be in town for maybe almost a week, and take us out and do anything we want.
If you want. What do you say, pal, huh? You glad to see me, Brian?
Yeah. Come on, let's go. I'm starved.
Hey, not till we get Pigpen changed here, huh? Let's go.
I can even read this. Listen, it's about desserts. Ice cream, apple pie, cake, fresh fruit.
Great. Just for that, you can take your choice.
I want them all.
How about you, son? How you doing? Any problems?
No,
How about English? Is that getting a little easier for you?
I guess so.
I hope so. Are you doing your homework?
I'll say yes. Those in the books all the time. Like Mom says. Huh, Brian?
Well, your mom's right, you know. A good education is a man's best tool. I want you guys to listen to her. You know, I can't be with you as often as I'd like to. But you're in my mind, both of you, all the time, believe me.
I know, Dad.
Well, I'm glad to hear you're working so hard. Hey, but it isn't all books, is it?
No.
You trying out for any teams?
Yeah, track.
Great. I'll make sure and catch you to practice while I'm here. All right. Who's ready for dessert?
Me!
All right.
Dad,
Yeah, pal.
you give me one of those remote control cars. You know that you can steal it?
Two of them if you're a good kid, huh?
Walter, you came at the right time. Do you have a note for me?
I lost it.
Mrs. George expected you would. So she phoned me.
Who's Mrs. George?
His principal. It seems Brian is still having problems like he did in grade school. And he's behaving like the class clown. Oh, Brian, you told me you'd try this time. You promised.
I'm sorry.
I thought you said everything was all right, son. Well, why did you let me think that?
I don't know.
What's the problem?
Robbie, honey, go find something to do, please.
What is it, son? Tell us.
I don't know.
Brian, please. We're not angry with you. We know there must be something wrong. But we can't help if you won't tell us.
I hate school.
That's not so unusual. It wasn't my favorite place either, but I got through and you can too. What specially don't you like?
Everything.
It covers a lot of ground. What can we do about it?
Mrs. George wants me to come to her office on Thursday. Oh, Walter, if you can. I mean, if you're going to be in town.
Sure. I'll be glad to go with you. Maybe we can both find out what's wrong. Look, maybe we've just got to face the fact that he's a slow learner. I mean, I wasn't so hot in school myself.
It isn't that. He's bright, Walter. You know he is. And I honestly think he tries.
Have you talked to his doctor about it?
He's as healthy as you or me. Nothing wrong with his eyes, hearing. I don't know. Just don't know. I feel so frustrated.
Barbara, I was a slow learner too, remember? He'll get it. He'll get it.
I believe we all feel the same sense of outrage at what we've seen in the corridor. It makes me sad to think that anyone in this school could have done that, but it was done by someone who knows his or her way around here. I hope that if anyone knows anything about this, that person will pass on the information. We want facts, not suspicion. We're not looking for a witch hunt.
It was you.
What was?
Don't you think I know how you print? All the letters you do backwards, the mixed up way you spell.
I don't even know what you're talking about.
You do too. Every word you put on those walls last night was like signing your name. Don't you think other people will realize that? Brian, why? What were you trying to do?
I don't know. It was pretty stupid.
What?
Well, Mrs. George is going to talk to my parents about me.
What's the big deal about that? It happens to other kids. They don't trash the school.
Okay, I told you it was stupid. What are the words? I mean, what do you see? The letters. Read them.
A man went out to the sea every day.
What did I see? A bunch of letters, all mixed up. And when I try to sound them out, I can't even make them look like letters.
But sometimes you do read all right.
I guess at the words. You know, I can't even tell time because all the hands are jumbled up.
Can you ever tell anyone?
Have them think I'm retarded or something?
But you're not. You know you're not.
What difference does it make? They'll think I am. Even my parents. They've just about given up on me.
Is that why you act up?
Yes.
You've got to tell them.
Can't.
You've got to tell Mrs. George why you trashed the school.
I can't.
Do you want me to?
No. Please don't.
Then you've got to. It was you. Don't you think I know how you print? All the letters you do backwards, the mixed up way you spell. Every word you put on those walls last night was like signing your name. You've got to tell them. You've got to tell Mrs. George why you trashed the school.
Well, I got mad. And then I found this can of paint and I splashed it all over the place and, well, anyways, that's why I did it.
Oh, honey, why didn't you tell us you had this problem?
I tried. I told you I couldn't read, and I told you I got all mixed up.
I didn't know what you meant. If you'd explained it, I might have understood.
Maybe he couldn't explain it. Right, Brian?
I just thought I was dumb.
What do you make of this, Mrs. George? What happens now? The damage he's done, I can pay for it.
Brian and I have agreed he'll clean it up. But the damage isn't the problem. Would you be willing to have Brian undertake a series of tests to determine the nature of his problem?
The nature is he can't read. I couldn't either. I just get by now.
Did you have any other problems?
Yeah, I was a lousy speller. My handwriting looks like chicken tracks. But I could always figure things out in my head. There's nothing wrong with my memory.
Has it affected your business?
I'm a salesman. I'm a good talker. I call my orders in. Does he get it from me? Could it be hereditary?
Let's see what the tests say.
All right. Now, Brian, some of this may seem a little silly, but believe me, it tells us a lot. Okay?
Okay.
Now, point to your right ear with your left hand. All right. Hold up the same hand that I am. All right, have a seat, Brian. All right, now I'm going to hold up some cards with something on them. Now, I want you to look at the card and remember what you see. Then I'm going to take the card away, and when I say copy, pick up your pencil and copy what you saw. Ready?
All right.
Okay, here we go. Copy. 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 Last card. Copy.
Well, it all adds up.
What's wrong with me, Doctor?
Well, first of all, Brian, believe me, you're not retarded. You want a label? I've got a label. I'm a psychologist. Apart from that, would you say I'm normal?
Yes.
I have the same problem you do.
You do?
No. All through grade school, they called me a dummy. I couldn't read, spell, tell left from right, up from down. I couldn't even tell time.
You couldn't?
Welcome to the club. It's called dyslexia, and a lot of people have it in one form or another. Nobody really knows what causes it. Some people feel it might be hereditary. It's possible that your father was dyslexic, too.
Well, you got over it.
You don't get over it. I got around it. So have others. Some pretty famous ones, too, like Nelson Rockefeller, Bruce Jenner.
Bruce Jenner?
You bet. Listen, you want to take a walk?
Sure. Doctor, what I want more than anything else in the whole world is just to be able to read. But I don't know how I can do that.
Well, there's a center that specializes in training dyslexics.
Really? What will it be like?
Oh, there are young people, old people, all kinds, really. There's no age limit on being helped.
But will I be able to keep up with my classes, and still be on the track team?
Sure. You'll be scheduled during your regular school hours, so you'll still be with your friends. It's going to take a long, long time. Might seem like forever. They're going to work the pants off of you, Brian.
That doesn't scare me.
Attaboy. You'll learn the shape of letters and words by sound, touch, sight, color, over and over again.
Use your reference hand. Good, Brian.
They'll test you with look-alike words, words that seem to be spelled backwards, and they'll repeat and repeat and repeat until the images in your mind are so strong you think you'll never forget them, but you will.
Son, steady,
Remember the yellow means silence,
silent,
but the E means
stage.
Good, good, good. Okay.
Snack. 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 Snack.
Okay, last one.
Slap.
Get a slap, a smack, and start.
You'll learn to work with a typewriter because your handwriting is always going to be a problem for you. And you're going to have times when you think you'll never learn. You'll never be like other people. But you won't give up. And the day will come. It could possibly be years away. It may seem like never.
That's all. You got them all right.
Miss Thomas, Brian wants to read for you. Pick any page. I'm not that all good yet.
Well, I hardly think that's an objective opinion, young man. Let's hear it anyway.
Now, when I look upon the accomplishments of those years, I marvel.
Oh, you've worked so hard.
I've still got a lot to do.
But you're doing wonderfully.
And Mr. Rabbit and Mrs. Rabbit and their 17 children lived happily ever after. You pass. About time.
Brian is not alone. The following had problems similar to his. Albert Einstein, Nelson Rockefeller, Bruce Jenner, General George Patton, President Woodrow Wilson, Thomas Edison, and countless other men and women. But, like Brian, they learned to live with their disability and found their own paths to success.
Tomorrow, charge into action with the men of Wildside when they battle a gang of renegades. Then Oscar and Tracy are up to their private eyes in trouble when a grieving Romeo spares no expense to learn what truly happened to the woman he loved on Eye to Eye. Tomorrow, all starting at 8, 7 Central.